nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. You may proceed on the record. You're on the warrant.
On October 17, 2024, Officer David Todd and John Berry were dispatched to the address of 113 Clinton on a welfare check to speak with a Todd Holbrook. It is reported that Downriver Central Dispatch received a 911 call from Holbrook stating that people were on his phone and he was not making sense in his statements. Officers arrived and then spoke with Mr. Holbrook, and it took a while to get him to come and talk to him. He appeared agitated, uncooperative. They asked him to come down and speak to him. He eventually complied. While speaking with Holbrook, he said that people had taken over control of his phone and that people installed programs in it. Holbrook then accused the Wyandotte Police Department of a conspiracy to corrupt his phone and him. Officers eventually continued to speak with Mr. Holbrook. We're concerned. More conversation led that Holbrook moved from Monroe County, and prior to that, the power company in Monroe was out to get him, and they gave Wyandotte Municipal the information to corrupt him in Wyandotte. Officers continued to speak with Mr. Holbrook and asked him if he needed any medical attention or wanted to speak with anyone, and he declined. At that, he requested that they leave. It was at that point the officers left. As they left, they spoke with a concerned neighbor that was also Mr. Holbrook and the status of him. At that time, the officers then received a call from Downriver Central Dispatch from Holbrook's direct neighbor, the complainant Jeffrey Broom. The 911 caller stated that Holbrook attempted to hit him with a baseball bat. It was at that point the officers then went back to speak with Mr. Holbrook, to speak with Mr. Broom. Mr. Broom stated that Holbrook advanced at him out of his apartment with a bat raised over his head, threatening to bash his brains in while he was standing on the landing. Broom then retreated back into his apartment. The officers then made contact again with Mr. Holbrook, eventually took him into custody, located the bat that matched the description of the bat that was described by Mr. Broom as being used against him. Mr. Holbrook has multiple felony convictions to offender fourth offense notice in this matter.
I don't.
All right.
That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Upon examination of the complaining witness, I find the offense charge was committed. There's probable cause to believe the defendant committed that offense. And counsel, your appearance, please, for the record.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom. Apologies, Judge. My Zoom app is doing an update, and while I can hear and see just fine, I'm waiting for the camera to be responsive. But we did have a dialogue, and we are prepared to proceed.
All right, thank you. Mr. Holbrook, your name for the record, please.
Holbrook.
All right, and counsel, as to the arraignment.
We waive formal reading, and my client stands mute.
All right. There's also, the court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purpose of the arraignment. And sir, you do have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
It's hard to hear, ma'am.
Mr. Holbrook, you had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Okay. All right, and
I'm the victim here. I'm the victim.
sir, hold on. You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury, and you also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may, orally or in writing, may be used against you in court. And I will sign the petition for court-appointed attorney for felony matters once that is done. Once that's done.
I got $100,000 in hospital bills that they have done to me. I'm the victim.
Counsel, as to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, I did speak with my client. He absolutely maintains his innocence. I've encouraged him to remain silent, as this is an arraignment, and discussing that he's the victim or the case would not be relevant or assisting at this time, but he is maintaining his innocence. He's been on disability for the last 10 years due to some injuries that he's had, but he's not on probation or parole, and although he does have a criminal history, he doesn't have a recent criminal history. He indicates he will appear at any and all future court dates, maintains that he has a history of failing to appear, and will follow any rules and provisions and maintain his innocence and come to court timely to try to find a solution to this matter. So in that regards, I know that financially he does have constraints, so we would respectfully request leniency when determining appropriate bond and potentially consideration for a personal bond. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and so detective has to bond.
Right there.
A lengthy criminal history. The problem is that the complainant and the defendant live within, it's like a duplex.
You know what's going on, so.
So I have an issue with contact between both of them. So I'm requesting that
You got nowhere else to go?
zero contact, no assaultive contact, no threatening behavior, and a $500 bond to assure his presence in court.
All right, and sir, you're not working?
No, I've been on disability for like 12 years.
All right,
I couldn't talk to anybody if I wanted to. I'm disabled. I'm the victim here.
all right. Well, the court does note that Mr. Holbrook, as recently as 2022, did have a felony assault with a dangerous weapon, looks like dismissed to an aggravated assault.
It was just over the same thing. I was on in Monroe on this probation thing over the same exact thing that I'm here for.
Sir, please do not interrupt the court.
Okay.
So the court does note that there's a history of felony assaultive behavior by Mr. Holbrook, even dating back into the 1990s. And the court does have some concern for the safety of the public, the safety of the complaining witness in this matter. And given that they reside in close proximity with each other, the court also has some concerns with that. Based upon that, the court's going to order a $7,500 10% bond with the following bond conditions. You're not to have any contact with Mr. Broom. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. You're not to enter the premises at 113 Clinton. You'd have to find somewhere else to stay, sir. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to possess or have access to any firearms and/or any weapons. You also, sir, do you have any firearms at the home?
No, I know what that house was that you guys sent me to.
And sir, you also are to have a GPS tether.
What's that?
You also already have a GPS tether. All right, we'll see you back on the 24th. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.